This is our ranking factory revolutions. This is the main screen you come to the first time you open it and set it up, because you can put in your APIs, your Google API, a map API, translation API. You can enter in, a bunch of different accounts if you want, email accounts, and then you save them so they'll be there the next time you open it back up. You don't have to worry about it again. But by using Google APIs, that means anything I do in here, I can jump from account to account to account without having to log in or log out of any accounts, because I'm going straight through the API. We got each of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These modules each do different things. Now this one, you notice this little green up here. All this one does is to change your look of your tool. So that's not a big deal. And of course, help one can be a big deal at times. Not when everything's running smoothly, but just in case you want to know that. So short URLs. A lot of you may have seen in the news lately, Google's talking about getting rid of their short URLs. Whether they actually do or not, we'll see, because they also said that in March of 2018, Google Drive would go away. That's what they were saying a year ago. Google Drive's still here, so they don't always know what they're going to do for sure, and they don't always tell us the truth, I don't think. But this tool its entire purpose is to do some create some short URLs. If you put in here some kind of keyword and then a URL, and you tell you want to make a couple keywords, a couple of short URLs, and you click run, and down here it will create some short URLs that are anchor text with this keyword to this URL.
Jerry, can you make your screen any bigger, bud? Just a lot of people are seeing a small screen, that's all.
Well, I've got it. It's full screen on my big screen, but I can change the maybe.
Zoom it and go to webinar and you should be fine. There's a Zoom and go to webinar.
That is true. That is true. I can do that. Is that changing it at all? I don't think.
Yeah, it got a little bigger. You're good. That's much better.
But and it is fairly light, but this isn't as big a tool as it was when they first came out with it because of Google's announcement with short URLs. It can also do this YouTube variants, and you see it just makes a bunch of short URLs. Here's my short URLs using the keyword dentist. Each of these is a keyword anchor using dentist. That's a short URL to my original doc. Okay. Again, these aren't used as often as they were in the past, but it's handy to come in because now you've got a bunch of variations, and of course there's a select all to copy them, to clear them. I'll talk about this send URL to sheets in a moment, but
so what's the benefit of having all these variant URLs? Either Terry or Gary can answer that answer because it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, it's if you've been on YouTube at some point, you'll notice the URL of the video is not always the same. They have a bunch of different formats for that. So if I go back up here and let's see, So if I take this
But there's
URL
also
right
a
here,
very other simple but
let's clear that, and run this variant, you notice a whole bunch of, yeah, okay, that's going to pop up. See all these different variations of YouTube. Because YouTube uses a whole bunch of different variations around the country, around the world, and for different platforms. So you have different URL for YouTube on an iPhone versus an iPad versus an Android phone versus my Windows Surface and so there's a bunch of them out there. Well, this gathers them all up, and each of them is a separate link, but they all go to the same video. So you can get a bunch of different links to that same video, and like I say, when you run it, of course, then it also gives them to you with your keyword already anchor text to it. So it can come in handy for any links to your YouTube properties, to your videos, and if you want to rank a video, you might as well get links to every possible variant on that URL.
Hey, Terry.
Yes, sir.
Can we ask the audience a question? Has anybody noticed the indexing slowdown in the last month or so?
Probably just everybody.
Well, the variants are the one exception to the rule. They created an exception to these variants, and they'll still index almost instantly.
Well, YouTube's their baby. They
That's right.
They handle it with kid gloves.
And Gary, let me ask you a question. By combining these into different bunches and batches and putting them on Google properties and taking that one link with all these on there, how much of that YouTube variant juice is passed up through that document to that link to whatever the money site is?
Well, here's what's going on is you're taking these links with using that method, and you're passing authority from all the other Google properties onto these variant links that's promoting that video. So what happens, the video is getting so much authority that it's going to bypass all the other videos in its category, even if they have high number of views and high RPI. They're just going to pass it by. It doesn't matter because authority exceeds relevance. Does everybody understand that? Authority will overpass any other relevance that's being given to somebody else's videos.
So in other words, you're passing a lot of power, which is really the point. You can use these in any combination. So, that's just one of the little tools that's in here that you can use to start boosting your stuff. And I know it doesn't sound too exciting at the moment, but as Terry moves through this, you'll see how really, really cool and exciting this can get.
Now this tool here, I just switched to HTML Creator and Cloud Stacker. That's the technical term.
How many people know what cloud stacking is? Give me a 1. How many people don't have a clue what cloud stacking is? Give me a 2. Okay, 1, 2, 2. A lot of 2s. All right, that's awesome.
Cool.
Look, at least you're going to learn something. Whether you do it with us, you can at least learn something. Awesome. Cool.
Well,
go for it.
The idea of this software, which came out of Gary's ultimate video ranking, thought was that if we could get links from a bunch of different Google properties all going to one place, and then from that place we could direct them to any property we wanted and get it a lot of link juice and ranking. So as we were talking about that last year, we thought, well, let's include Google Cloud in that because it's a Google property. Google likes you to use their properties. And then once we started doing that, we thought, well, Amazon's got a cloud, Microsoft's got, there's a bunch of cloud services out there, a lot more now than there were. So how about if we run the juice through all those properties too? So we started stacking not just Google properties, but also cloud properties and seeing pretty quick and pretty amazing results. So as the software has been developed, it started to incorporate some of that in there. So this little piece of software, you'll see little things like content, YouTube URL. They're pretty self-explanatory, but just run it through. In each of these modules, there's a translation module. If we want to translate our content from English to some other language, or from the other language to a different language. But all of them require you to put a title in here. To pick which of your Google accounts you want to run through, it's up to you. You can switch it next time, do it again, do it different. And after this is run, I can always save my work and come back, load it back in to do it again if I want. Then I put in here some variations on the title. These will go in the metadata. They won't be seen by humans. They're for Google. They're food for Google to explain more relevance. Then an article here, and I drop in an article, a YouTube URL. Here's a box where I can embed things, anything iframe, a place to put keywords, a place to put a target URL. Once I have that that target URL and the keywords and the stuff filled out, I can click here and it will convert these keywords to anchor text heading to my target URL. And as soon as it gets done with that, I will preview it all because there's a preview button. All right. So this is what the page, this HTML page would look like. And this is a link, the YouTube video I put up there. Some links, I put some links into the article. Then the NAP, since this is a local business, a Google My Map, RSS feed. Again, these are both from the embed codes. And then my list of keywords, all outbound links to my target URL. So once I adjust, get that how I want it, I can go back and forth to the preview and say, no, I want I want this left aligned, or I want the map, bigger or smaller. Or I get that the way I want it. I can go over here to our cloud stacker button. I can add in different cloud accounts from Alibaba, pCloud, Amazon. And then I go over here when I'm ready to run it, and I'll pick, I'm just going to do the top couple. I'll do 3. And I will tell it what bucket I want to put it in.
Now we're going to go over a little bit of what Terry's doing. I just wanted him to show you how particularly simple this is. There is setup, as with anything that needs to be set up, but our training and his training helps you do that. But once it's set up, you can see how simple that this is really to run.
And really, it's just filling in these blanks. And now with the Cloud Stacker, because I've already added in my own cloud accounts. I've got a couple different Google Cloud accounts. I've got, I can pick which ones. But once I've filled that out, I'm going to click this button. And when I do, it is going to upload this page to the cloud accounts I've chosen. And I'm just going to do it live. And there's one of them. That's to Amazon. Oh, that's the Google one. There's the Microsoft one. Okay, there's the 3 right there. The Microsoft, the Google one, and the Amazon one. Okay. And we go back to the Microsoft one, which was the 3rd of them. These are stacked. So this link takes me to the Google Cloud, wherein the link in that one takes me to the Amazon cloud. Once I'm on the Amazon cloud, that takes me to, well, that one took me to a window. It's supposed to take me to, oh, this one's taking a minute to load. Okay, but anyway, they'll head back to, you can see they all link together and sending juice out to my, my target URL.
So Terry, how long would it take you to do this by hand?
Well, I used to have to do it by hand, which meant logging into my Amazon cloud account after I created an HTML page. logging into my Amazon account and uploading it, and then logging into my Google account and then to cloud account to load it, my Microsoft Azure cloud account, and then uploading it. So it took a while. And then I'd copy down those URLs. This just saves them for me. I can select them all and save them, and I'll have them for any other use I want, not just for my records. And I can change the order if I want to put them in a different order. That's not a big deal. So I can upload them in any order.
And it's important to do that to see which one passes the juice better. Let's stop right here real quick. So everybody that's seeing this, what I would really like to know is how many of you would say for sure that you understand the power of stacking? Give me a 1 if you do. If you're not really sure, give me a 2.
And while you're doing that, notice I can, if I've got this page already made, if I want to run it again, I can run it again from any different account. Just switch to a different account, run it again, or translate it to a different language and run it again, or both. I can do it in this account in each language and then switch to a different account and do once in each language if I want. So I can get a whole bunch of cloud properties out of this, all pointing juice back to wherever my target URL I put in.
Okay, so half of the people on here don't really understand the power of stacking. Gary, you want to take and explain that from the UVR concept to what we're doing here in terms of the stacking principle?
Sure. When I first looked at stacking, or another term for it would be siloing, what I found was at the time, Google was rewarding websites for siloing their properties. So I had a conversation with Patrick and a couple other people, and I kind of wondered what it would do for videos. And that was the beginning of the process. But the process is consistent. Doesn't matter whether it's for a website, for a video. The siloing will pass the authority up to your target. In fact, there's a question here regarding it. Will Google penalize you for doing this? No, they're actually just going to reward you for doing this. It will allow you to have more authority than any of your competitors, depending on how deep and what niche, how far you want to go with it. And this is just, now what you're going to see in this image is just one piece of what we do. This is a very small piece in the overall what this software will do. But the passing on authority, juice passes up and it has a destination. The destination is your target URL. That's where you want all your authority to go, is your destination. Does that kind of help there, Patrick?
Yep. Does everybody understand a little bit better what, looking at that graphic? Bitbucket passes its juice to GitHub, to Microcloud, to Google Cloud, to Amazon, to the language stacker, all the way up, and all that juice flows uphill to whatever site and whatever property that you want that juice to follow. So it's almost, if you think about it, if everybody understands tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, PBN and GSA type linkings, well, how about thinking of it in this term? Everything that you know about that works the same with Google, but you're only using Google properties to do the same thing as you were all those crappy links and all those crappy, environments where you would never take, a tier 5 to link to your tier 1. Here, you can take any tier, any property. It just depends on how you want to set it up in a stacking order, but it all flows that perfect, good Google juice and domain authority. Like, Terry, what's the domain authority of Amazon S3? What's the domain authority of the Google Cloud?
Oh, I know. I mean, the domain authority on these things is ridiculous. Keep in mind, I'm sure some of you have heard of Amazon. They're a big company. They have tons of authority even in Google's eyes, who wishes, that Amazon wasn't quite as big perhaps. And Microsoft's not a little tiny company either. These are huge, huge websites that have been around a while and wield lots of authority. Just the fact that you have this HTML page on a domain that is Amazon.com, s3.amazon.com, anything to do with Amazon is going to wield authority, and so that gives you more authority to your sites, your domains, which are on there. And some of these are going to rank just because they're on Amazon, and the niche isn't just weight loss or dog training. It's something a little slightly more specific than that. So it's not a huge market like that. And just the simple uploading of an HTML page on one of these cloud services can rank. And then, of course, we can do it, all these things that we do, in language after language after language after language. So you can do 20 of them and all be unique because they're all in different languages.
See, one of the things that, everybody talks about, duplicate content, penalty, penalty, penalty. Well, the way that we've designed this, you could write the same exact sentence, convert it in 25 different languages, and you have 25 unique references to that same content with the links in those particular authority pages that are sending juice to whatever your money site is, whether it is your website, a client's website, a CPA offer, whether it's a YouTube, whether it's a YouTube variant, whether it's another Google Cloud Stack, or whether, it's another translation. So the beauty of what has been designed here, if you can think of it simply, is we're simply using Google properties, Mother Google, the way that Mother Google has intended, so that you can link one of Mother Google's properties to another one of Mother Google's properties, and Mama never ever disowns her children. Does that make sense? Mom never disowns her own children. Mama loves her children. And so when you begin to do this, Google is not going to penalize itself because she loves herself. A point in fact, how many of you heard of the billions of dollars that had to be paid, in a foreign country because Google was loving themselves so much that none of the other videos could get ranked on those pages? Anybody heard that? Give me a yes if you did, or a one if you did, or two if you didn't. Right? How many of you heard that? You had to have read it, right?
Not only did Google pay that fine, they paid it willingly, knowing they were making more money off of doing it that way than it was costing them in fines.
Exactly. So knowing that's the case, we're just kind of doing what Google wants us to do. Use Google to, build upon those juice links and send them to where you can. And we're going to show you some proof of this in a second. It's just going to kind of blow you away. But yeah, I just wanted to make everybody aware that Google will not penalize itself. Okay.
And you can see I just translated it all to Spanish. And then if I wanted, I could upload it again to the cloud, all in Spanish.
Brand new links, more power, more juice.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody get excited about that? I mean, literally, if you're trying to do SEO and you want to get stuff ranked, is anybody really getting excited about what we're trying to share with you? I know it's a little boring, but it is really exciting.
We can also build Google sites, G sites.
Anybody heard of Google site? Yes, if you have, two if you haven't. Let's go. How many of you know what a Google site is? Okay.
All right.
Yeses. Okay, great. Thank you.
To build a Google site with this, if you're going to do a home page, about us, privacy, contact us, and then if you want to do additional pages, you would just name them from whatever you got from the keyword tool. Maybe you'd have 7 good reasons to do this or whatever. As many as you want. You put in the name, phone number, website, if you want to put in a Google Plus, LinkedIn, Twitter, your email, you put in some images down here. You choose your site theme, style of font you want to use, and once I'm just with 4 of them for now, because I'm not going to actually run this. It takes a while to build a site, but I'll show you what it does. You put an article in there, go to homepage. Here's the content on your homepage. You can set up a link, decide which images of your images you uploaded you want to use for your header, in the body, if you want an image in the footer, if you want to put a map, a calendar in, a YouTube, any of that stuff, your About Us, put your information in your About Us the same way, fill out the, make your selections for what you want to add to it. The privacy policy comes already written out with a template that Google likes, and it places the name of your business, which is whatever you put up here, the title, into the privacy policy, so it's built into it. And then, of course, your Contact Us will have your name, phone, website, and address. And if you want to add a YouTube URL or a map, you can do that. I've got a G site I built here. You can see you've got your title, an image back here. You can have an image of videos in it, an About Us page, Contact Us page, which includes, I've got a map in there. The headers can be different or all the same. Same way with footers, you can have them all different or same. Privacy policy, and you see it just inserts whatever you name your page into the privacy policy that's standard, acceptable to Google, and then you upload it and go live, and keep copy down your URL so you can use it for other modules in this software. Again, you can save the information so you can load it up next time if you want to build one in Spanish, if you want to build one in Icelandic, Thai, Welsh, whatever. And then if you want to also then, again, switch and build one in another account, build one in another account. So now Google Sites, if you're running those, you can go up to 10 pages here, and if you're running them, it's going to take 15 minutes or so. So I'm not going to run one, but you can see what one looks like once it's made, and I would hope you've seen Google Sites before. The next couple tools I am going to run live again, like I did with the HTML, so you can see what they do and the speed with which they work. So this module we're calling Doc Stacker actually has 3 different tabs within it. A buffer document. The value of a buffer document is you can send all your juice from all your Google properties to this buffer document. And from it, you put in your target URL. So it's going to Sam's Pizza, okay? Then if you do a really good job for Sam, in a year and a half, he comes back to you and says, man, I appreciate all you've done for me, Tony, but you're fired. I don't need you anymore. I'm ranking right on top of the maps. I'm on top organic. My videos are ranking. My blog's ranking well, and I've got more business than I need, so thanks, but no thanks. So instead of kicking yourself all the way back from that meeting, you're smiling because when you get home, you change this from Sam's Pizza to Joe's Pizza across the street from Sam's, and you go talk to Joe and sign him up as a new client because, boom, all that juice is now that was going to your buffer doc is now going from it to a different website. So you don't have to worry about getting fired for doing such a
Wait a minute. Nobody knows what a buffer doc is.
Right. That's what I'm just saying. It's a buffer between all your Google juice and the final destination of that Google juice, your money page, your video, your landing page, whatever it is you're trying to rank. But because it's all going to this one document that then goes to your target URL, as a buffer, it gets all that juice and sends it all in one fell swoop to wherever you want. And you can go in and change this, and it'll go somewhere else. So you can rank a video and then go rank their blog and then go rank their landing page, all with the same juice if you want. Does that make sense to people? What I'm talking about there? Let me load up a...
Everybody give me a 1 if that made more sense. Cool. Yep, we're good. We're good, Terry.
Cool. Here's a buffer doc, and I can upload it as an HTML or as a PDF. Do it real quick as a PDF.
You know, while you're doing that, Wallace kind of hit the nail on the head. A buffer is a page where you send all the authority to right before you send all that authority from the buffer page or doc to the money site. Wallace, you got that nailed, my friend. That's awesome.
It's basically your huge tier 1. All your
Yep.
tier 2s and 3/4s all go to this. And then from there it goes to that. And here's my Google PDF that it created in my Google Drive. It's got a little comments over there, which is it's got my link to my target URL, all that kind of stuff in it. That was, in case you couldn't tell, that was English. Could have run it in some other languages, but, you know, and it can also upload it as HTML. I got my option there. The next thing it has here is a keyword document. And let me see if I've got one of those too. That saves me the having to type everything in. And this just contains a bunch of keywords that you know, I've found with my keyword tool. Again, a comment or description box, and this stuff is Google food, and a target URL. And again, PDF or HTML, I can do look at a preview of it, and the preview is this over here, not this over. This is the code, but you know, this is what you would see. So let me upload that real quick. I think I'm doing this one as an HTML, I believe it said. And there it is. So this is a document that has a bunch of keywords, all of which are sending juice to my target URL. Hope that makes sense. That target URL could very well be my buffer doc. And I can run it again, of course, as PDF. So I can have both out of any one of these. Then once I've got a buffer document and a keyword document linking to it, let's put some articles in there. So I go to this article stacker. I need an original article. Let me load up an article. Oh, let's grab this one, in keeping with the theme. So here's this article. Now, if you can tell, looking right here, this article has spin text in it. Okay, this is a spun article. So if I click spin, now it has populated my article 1, article 2, article 3, 4, and 5. Each of these is a unique article. I've added a description and comments down here that includes a link to the client in this case, some keywords. This isn't actually a client of mine, by the way. I know the guy that is this orthodontist, but he's not a client. But I have those in each one of these articles. Again, here's the original article. I'm going to put in a couple of keywords. These are keywords that, when they appear in the article, will be anchor texted to my target URL. I've got a title up here, which is going to be the main title, and then I've got titles for article 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if I say do this as a PDF, I'm going to upload real quick these 5 articles. And each of these is unique. There's one. Oh, there's another one. And a third one. And a fourth one. And the 5th one. So that didn't take too long to upload those 5 articles. But I've got another button down here that, if it were big and green and being sold at Office Depot, it would be called an easy button. I can click on this, and that opens up a new tab that was not here before. See, before I did that, there's no such thing. A translation stacker. Now I can decide how many, besides English, what other languages do I want to do this in? So does anybody have any preference for a language while I'm on here?
Yeah, give me some languages. Give me first 3 language. Iceland, Spanish, and one more. German.
All right. And again, I can change the order if I decide to, or I can click check all, but you guys don't want to sit there and watch it go through that many. What was I doing before? PDFs? Let me do HTML.
Do HTML.
Okay, so I'm going to run this translation stack. Now, because of the way it's set up, it's going to run the English ones first, and then the Icelandic, then the Spanish, then the German. So let me click.
I want you guys to watch and pay attention to this. This is freaking off the charts.
Here's the first one. These first 5 are
done. Look at the links. Boom. Done. I mean, you cannot even imagine the amount of time that you would be saving by using this, assuming that you wanted to get the juice from and the unique content. Now, look, let me just share something with everybody. Tell me
That's
in
all
a one, just listen. Tell me in a one, do you think there are people in this country that speak other languages? Give me a 1. Come on. 2. Yeah, nobody speaks. Yeah. Okay. So if they speak other languages, give me a 1 or a 2. Do you think that they search in Google in their own language? Absolutely. A couple no's, but that's okay. The reality of it is there's a portion of every major city that has their own subcultures with their own language. They speak in their homes. They search the internet in their own language. Yes, they speak English, okay? But
this is Icelandic, by the way. For those of you who speak Icelandic, feel free to read along.
Yeah, if you know that. But is by doing this, guys, these things are actually, when you do them right, are going to rank. And people within these cultures that speak their own languages are going to find what you are doing. And how many people besides us, do you really think are out there building all of these language sites and all these language HTML sites and all these language links? Okay. How many do you really think are out there doing this? So do you think that you might have an advantage over your competition?
We're in Spanish now.
Yes, right? Keith says yes. KC says yes. Increase. Dirk says yes, right? Hassan, absolutely, right?
These are all on a Google property. And if I click back to one of the PDFs, because it's easy to see on the PDFs, you can see, well, you can't see it on that one, can you? That these are published and shared publicly. So they're on your Google Drive, but they're public. They have live links, a live link in the title, and then wherever the keywords appear within them.
See, I can pretty much guarantee, I don't care how many languages you speak, you go, and this isn't being negative, like I did last night to the Chinese restaurant and ordered my dinner. Yeah, they can speak English, but they're speaking their own language when I'm not around. They're searching in their own languages. This is not, this is a cultural thing, and this is great. Not only that, how many of you have ever done, a CPA offer for Brazilian butt, or, a CPA offer in Germany, or a CPA offer someplace else? The reality is you now, with this opportunity, have created an open market to the world that you never, ever, ever had, because of the ability to take what we've built and utilize it for creating these massive opportunities for content, okay? and I'm sure Tony could address this as well, of understanding, you know, that we've got Thai in here for I don't even know what you call it, Tony. What's the language in Thai? Thai? I'm not sure.
Yeah, Thai language.
They speak
Yeah,
Thai.
but we can, you know, we added Thai into the other day.
Even Welsh. I mean, we got, but anyway, in that shorter period of time, here's our, you know, we got 5 German articles, 5, what was else do we pick? Russian?
Hey, Terry,
We have Icelandic.
I got a question for let somebody guess in our little questionnaire. How many tiers do you think we have here? Because everybody speaks in backlinks in tiers. You know, 2nd tier, 3rd tier, 4th tier. Let's take a guess how many tiers deep this one little run with just 3 languages created.
How many tiers deep? We got 16, 15, 4, 1, another 4. Keep them coming. Keep guessing. 24, 9, 36, 22, 3, 122. Here's the right answer. Many, a lot.
We have 5 articles, and we can do them in all of these. Like I can click check all. We can do all of them, and when it's done, I can switch to the next account and run them again. Switch to another account, run them again. Switch to another account, run it again.
And see how easy that is, guys. This isn't.
I can add 50 Gmail accounts or more if I want. So and have 5 articles in 24 different languages, in 50 different Gmail accounts. I mean, the power of this is amazing. And I'm going to show you a couple of results of what we've done here shortly too. But that's our document stacker, buffer, keyword, and article stacker.
Yeah, so a couple of people are saying this all sounds nice, but, you know, does it work? Does it, you know, do you have any real proof that this works, Terry? I mean,
yeah,
it sounds good, but
let me show you. See all these little tabs that are our PDFs and our HTMLs. I got a little Chrome plugin up here that was free, but okay, 35 URLs. So I'm going to go over here to this one, Sheets. I'm going to paste in those 35 URLs. Those are the URLs to the Icelandic, the German, all those, right? So I'm going to give it a keyword. We've been using dentist stuff, so let's use keyword dentist and dentistry, for instance. Make this keyword anchor text. I don't have a description down here, but that's okay. I can put something in there. Just to have some copy down there. And when I run this is what it'll look like, a Google Sheets that will have my target URL and all these live link keywords on, well, you can't even see the one on the other side because it's got some long ones in there. But anyway, that's okay. But again, I can do Thai and Welsh and Hebrew.
Well, look how fast this is.
You didn't do my project title up here. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, but it told you that you were silly.
So there, I can't tell you which language that is, but
so you guys get see all these individual Google properties, and we're able to create these link and stack them and links.
And you can see here, it is public on the web. It's been published and shared. So
all of these are live backlinks going to whatever. What's the URL it's going to?
Well, that's up to me. I can run them all to my buffer document, and then from my buffer document, to whatever target I want, whether it's a video, whether it's a somebody's website, or, now get this, what if it's their Google My Business page?
Oh, okay. Does everybody know what a Google My Business page is? This is for local marketing, right? Does everybody know what a GMB is?
One of these. Now this
There you go.
was about 2 hours ago in our Skype group, because Friday night I went on and did this search. I don't know if you can, it's not big enough for you to see the whole search, is it? Anyway, the search term, I went to the search term and clicked more places and picked the Google My Business that was in position 12. And I made a video. I did it, live video of me doing it. I picked the one that was in position 12, and I said, I am going to take this GMB and I'm going to run these sheets, the HTML creator, the docs, just a bunch of this stuff. I didn't do everything as many times as I could on as many accounts as I could. I only did one account. I did do, I think, 4 languages on the ones that do different language, but the one that I picked that was in 12th was this one right here. And I started late Friday and finished it Saturday morning. And I shared it in the group. This is what I'm doing as a case study to see if it moves from 12th position to 11th or 10th. So I know I'm doing well, or down to 15th and I'm screwing it up somehow. And they sent me this box and they said, it's in the number 2 position in the 3-pack now.
Okay, I need you to stop right there.
And another guy sent me a link showing it in the 3rd position. This was early this morning. Now, different people are logging in from different places. But the point is, they looked at it Saturday when they got up and saw my little video showing the case study I was going to do. And this GMB right here was in position 12. You had to click on more places and then go scroll down a bit to find it. Okay. And the video is in the Skype group. I mean, I said, I'm going to do this and we'll all see whether or not it goes up or down. I didn't know whether it would go up 2 places or 3. I didn't expect that by Monday it would be in the 3-pack, but it was.
So let's stop right here, for example. Okay, look, listen, everybody. I understand that we've built a monster here for you guys, and that you might be a little bit overwhelmed. But forget about anything Terry has said up to this particular point.
That's typical.
What he has said up to this point leads us to the ability to go ahead and take somebody that's not in the 3-pack. And you can see right here, Gary, he showed you where they were, where we are, and how fast that can happen by utilizing the power of stacking. The power of stacking with what we've showed you, right? This is in the number 2 spot. Do you realize how much money, M-O-N-E-Y, this is worth to that client right there? And Terry just gifted him that. He has no freaking clue. So if Terry calls that guy, and let's just say, for example, listen, you are that person. You're Matt Logan. And Terry says, Matt, hey, I just want you to go look on your page and look where you are in Google My Business. And by the way, I did that. How would you like to stay there? How much? Everybody give me a figure, right? How much would Matt be willing to pay you if you were the one that did this per month to keep him in that number 2 spot? Give me an idea. What do you think that would be worth? $1,000 a month, $199 a month, $2,500, $500 to $1,000 a month, $500, right? Who knows? Depending on the niche, you're all correct, right? We've given you this opportunity with these tools. You got to learn them. I'm not saying, look, we built an easy button once you get your setup done. How easy was it to make 25 translations, right? I get so excited about this that I just have to go to the store and buy more Depends, okay? Because I can't keep enough of them on hand. Because of the reality is, if you don't really know and go into SEO and do all of this stuff, we're giving you on a silver platter the ability to rank stuff and to go out and get money from people that you've done a service for, but you've never, ever, ever talked to them, but you've done it. You go to them and they will pay you. They're not going to pay you when you say, hey, I can rank you in the 2-pack. Give me $1,000 a month. No. They're going to pay you $1,000 a month when you've done it, and you won't even have to ask them for it. It'll be dripping on you. Do y'all understand the importance of this? This is like ridiculously retarded.
Hey,
you do
Patrick,
not need proxies. Yes, go ahead.
Hey, is anybody, before we get finished with the webinar, want Terry to show you how to turn $1 into $1,000 a month? Would that be of interest before we get off of here?
Yeah, they're all saying yeah.
Well, let me tell you this. The beauty of the ranking factory.
Bring it on, baby. Bring it on.
Is this module right here.
You can do it. Bring it on.
And this module right here, these two modules together, even if you don't want to play with the other modules, if you feeling a little uppity, these two modules here, I did use Sheets with that Matt Logan also, but I didn't build them a G site. I just took a HTML creator, which I used after I had built the others, and in several languages, and I believe I did 6 languages in each of those maybe, and then built an HTML page that where I embedded all those links. But in fact, I saw here in one of the attendees here is a guy that ranking factory revolutions just maybe less than 3 weeks ago. I don't know. He started coming on the Skype group, which is the best Skype group in the world. I mean, it's really amazing. Supportive, friendly, cooperative. Everybody there is, we're not competing with each other. We're there to help each other. But Matthew, who's in the group, in the webinar right now, came on and asked a lot of questions. To be honest, some of them were newbie kind of questions because he was still trying to figure out what he was doing. And he's finally, I think over the weekend, rounded the corner and got a good handle on how to use Ranking Factory. And he'll just get better with it now, because once he's got a system down and understands it, then he can, combine some of these tools, combine his G-Site and Doc Stacker or the HTML creator. Just so you know, the link grabber, the entire purpose of the link grabber is because on your Google Drive, especially if you use Ranking Factory Revolutions a while, on your Google Drive, you have got a lot of Google properties on there. And you don't want to have to scroll back through them trying to find the ones that you did that dealt with weight loss, or the ones that you did that dealt with sofas.
This is an amazing tool.
Mm-hmm. So instead you go, okay, I'm going to go into my one of my Drive's accounts and find the stuff I had to do with SEO. And I'm not going to worry about my Google Plus or my Blogger, YouTube's. I'll just do the Google Drive. And feel free to, I'm going to talk while this is running, because it'll take a couple seconds.
Well, Terry, while that's running, you said Matthew is here. Matthew, are you there? Unmute your mic.
I'm here, man.
Hey, thanks, Matt. I know I asked you to come on here because I know that you just came with us a couple weeks ago, and, what you saw, what you thought you saw, what you thought you could do. You want to just kind of share with everybody here your experience over the last couple of weeks with us?
Yeah, sure. No problem. My partner had been running Rank Factory prior, and he had to go to another part of our business, so he can't run it anymore. So it was my turn to learn. And, the learning curve really is not all that bad. The Skype group is awesome. Everyone in there is helpful. The coders are awesome. Knowing that you have a coder working on the program that is a guy who runs the program himself rather than just a random programmer that they get is awesome as well. You get help as quick as you need it, and basically have a little fun with it and play around. If you decide to jump on board, really you can't mess anything up is what I'm trying to say. I was so worried in the beginning thinking, no, this or that or the other. No, you really can't mess anything up. Google loves Google, and it's as simple as that.
What are some of the just in 2 weeks of just fooling around with it, because you did a little of this and a little of that and whatever, what were you able to accomplish, on your own without, and let's all be reasonably assured that you know a little bit about what you're doing, but, from that perspective, did you get any results at all?
Yeah, actually, we came up on a big one. I just verified a Google property, a Google My Business, at the beginning of the month, like the 2nd, I believe. And we started running some Rank Factory. We ran a couple different campaigns, basically a few article stacks to a buffer document, as Terry has shown. And then we threw it into the Sheets module, and it is already showing up in the 3-pack. Of course, with different searches, different places, it goes in and out, but it's already coming up in the 3-pack for a kitchen remodeling niche right now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
how much is that worth to you? How much in dollars and cents is that worth to you?
About $1,000 a month.
$1,000 a month. Okay,
yeah.
So these guys are willing to pay you $1,000 a month to get them in the 3-pack.
Yep.
It's about normal, guys. What we're sharing with you here, Matt, thanks. You're incredible. Your energy is incredible. The little bit of time that you've been here and the amount that you're willing to share within the Skype group, is crazy. How many messages a day do you think we get in the Skype group?
Couple hundred, man. And there's always somebody ready to help you. That's the best part is, people helping people, the programmers helping, the main guys helping. It's a great group, man.
All right, man. Hey, we appreciate you showing up and giving us a little shout out. And, we just really love you and appreciate you being in and helping others, what you're learning. That's the key thing, helping others, right?
Yeah, man. No problem, man. And have fun with it, guys. Enjoy.
Thank you, Matt. Bye-bye. So, that's just a sample of what the reality is. I'm sorry, Terry, you all done? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, this is what the link grabber does. For instance, these are properties in that Google Drive of this particular account that have to do with SEO. Now, if I want, I can select all, and I could just push this button and they go to the sheets. And then, see, they're in there. I just put in because these are SEO related, I'd put in, SEO keywords here and here. Click check all, and boom, all those properties that I'd forgotten they were all in my Google Drive, or which one in particular are all reintroduced to Google in a new way, to be indexed slightly differently and pass more juice along. So that's the beauty of the link grabber. It'll go grab all those links from your properties, whatever title or keyword that is in the title of each of these documents. And
so think about what you can do with these. These are all Google property links that all carry Google juice, and within those Google properties are your backlinks. Now, if you take every single one of those links that Terry just shared, instantaneously, within a minute or so, was able to gather all of those links on your Google Drive. You know how long it would take you to go in there and get those? Hours, right? Find them, click them, save them. Find them, click them, save them. But you take all of those, Terry, and you put those on a Google document, and now you have one Google document with all of these Google documents on it, and you take that link of that one Google document and you put it in your HTML file. Do y'all realize how much power you're creating and passing forward? I mean, literally, do y'all get the potential of what this is? It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And then when you do the, the Google Sheets and the anchor text, it just gets worse and worse and worse. So, just for your competition, there's not going to be anybody that's able to touch you when you grasp all the various things that you can do with this. Can you make a buffer tree? You mean a buffer stack?
Certainly. You will find that there is no set pattern you have to use. These are all Google properties. You can stack them in any kind of order. You can try using the sheets in the doc stacker and ranking something. If it doesn't rank as high as you want, throw in a Google site, throw in HTML files, do some stuff, put some stuff in the cloud. Go get your link grabber and get everything you've ever done that had to do with that. Put it out there, get it back into your sheets and change it into a different account and do some languages in that account too to multiply your efforts. With 24 languages, if you have 10 Gmail accounts, now you're looking at 240 different copies you can make of every single Google property. So, I mean, you don't need all of those for Matthew to rank his kitchen remodeling, but you use what you need, and then if it works, you can back off. If it doesn't work, add some more on. Keep going. Link it to itself. Gary was talking earlier. I met with a prospective client and talked to them about doing some SEO for them. They balked at the price I suggested. Okay, fair enough. I said, well, if it's not worth it to you, or you don't think it'll be worth it anyway, to spend $1,000 a month on this, I can understand. Would you be willing to spend $1 on it? Have you got $1 in your pocket? He had $1 in his pocket. He said, yeah, I got $1. And I said, okay, I'll tell you what, you give me that $1 and we'll sit down sometime towards the end of next week and talk about what I can do for your website. So 10 days later, we get back with our appointment, and he's already ecstatic because they've gotten more phone calls in the last 2 days than they got in the last year and a half just from their website. And so I showed him some properties, some places, some keywords where he was ranking above the fold within those 10 days. Now, granted, he wasn't ranking in the first 5 or 6, but the last few days before that 10, they started, it started getting indexed and bumping properties up. And suddenly it was worth $1,000 a month for him to hire me once he realized that there was a value in it, and the value was he was getting phone calls now that he hadn't been getting before. So you can use this this tool to rank things before you make the sale or after, because that guy, when I sat down with him and he gave me the $1, that was the first time we'd ever met. He had contacted me because a mutual friend had suggested I could help him with his website. His website was, it looked like somewhere between 1987 and crap, but he loves his website. So he didn't want a new website. I did do some back end stuff, but off page, but he wanted to keep that website. So, okay, that's all right. With Ranking Factory, we can send, all sorts of links, all sorts of authority to inner pages, to landing pages, to images, photos, videos, whatever it takes.
Okay, great. So we have more modules that are coming. We have a maps program. We have a
Google
calendars that are coming, right? More power, more ways. The cool thing about the Google calendars is that there are 48 30-minute spots in every day. So we make a Google calendar every day with 48 spots, you know, times 7 days a week, times 30 days a month, times 365 days a year. And Terry, what happens when you embed those calendars into the properties that we're building?
If you build one of those HTML pages and embed a Google Calendar on there that you've optimized, every 30 minutes, that calendar updates on that HTML page. And because it's a Google property, Google is aware, oh, this page just got updated again. Oh, it just got updated again every 30 minutes.
So that means that Google is going to potentially recrawl that information, you know, more times than just once, correct?
Right, and the more they crawl it, the more they'll crawl it, because they'll realize, gosh, this has been updated 5 times since we last crawled it. This has been updated, you know, this many times since we last updated. And like the one I was showing earlier with the RSS feeds, because they're RSS feeds, that they update by the, you know, automatically also. So anytime you can have the continued relevancy and authority of Google and constantly build those calendars, you can set them to run 48, you know, calendar events a day forever. And it'll just keep running as long as there's a Google, you know, so.
Yeah. You know what, not to go backwards, but EG has a good point. What happens if Google Shorties, you know, stop working? Well, we've already anticipated the fact that they are going to stop working. At the end of the month, if you go do a Google Shorty right now, there's a big disclaimer on the Google site about Google Shorties, about what's going to happen. So maybe what you should do is go to, you know, the Google Shorty link and see what Google's actually saying about that themselves instead of taking my word for it. So already knowing what's going to happen, this is why we have built the Google Stacker, the Google Doc Stacker, why we built the Google Sheet Stacker, because these in themselves are way more powerful than just the Google Shorty links were in the process of building the double stacks that we were building before. So, you know, when you combine everything together, a couple people are asking, you know, is it difficult? Well, let me ask you a question. How much pain would you be willing to go through to get $1,000 a month from a guy that you don't know by doing some work and getting him ranked and calling him up and saying, you're on this in the 3-pack, your page is on the first page of Google, you know, whether it's easy or whether it's semi-easy or whether it's hard as crap, is the effort not worth the reward? I mean, literally, give me a 1 if you don't care how hard it is. You just want it to work, and you'll do what it takes, you know, to make it work.
And like Matthew said, he wasn't sure. He didn't know how to use the software. His partner was the one doing it, and then his partner went to a different part, a different country, different part of the business. And so Matthew was stuck with, you have to learn to use this because we want to, you know, use it for ranking. And you know, a couple weeks later, he's got a $1,000 a month lead generating page in the 3-pack. So, and if any struggles he had, somebody in the Skype group would step up and say, here's what you're doing. You forgot to put this in, or, you know, try this, do that. And I know I talked to him on Skype, and, you know, other people do too. People get on there that have done whatever it is you're trying to do, and will say, oh, here's what it is. You had up in your titles up here, your document title, the HTML page doesn't like pipes. So if you put a pipe in there and then you go, why is this not working? Somebody say, you know, someone in the Skype group will go, did you have pipes in your title? Take out the pipes, put a dash or leave it a blank. It'll run just fine. Oh, okay. And that's all there was to it. Because those HTML pages are on your computer when you're done and on your cloud accounts, you can go in and edit them later if you really want to have a pipe in there. So you don't lose control of the properties. They're still either on your drive or on your clouds where you have access to them.
So everything is there for you, right? So yeah, a couple people, indicated that they're not really willing to put in the effort and the work to get $1,000 a month on a client. So, I would have to say that if that's the case, then this probably isn't something that you want to participate in. Because anything in life that's worth the effort is worth the money. And, we have a special group that people can join with Terry as the private trainer. We have our own training, but here's the thing. With Terry, as you can see him going through this, he spends the time to help you. He spends the time privately with some individuals that are struggling to understand, and maybe they put a comma someplace and they're frustrated. He can fix that with you at some other point. And to join his group is $10 a month. It's incredibly insane. I opened that up for our members at the Ranking Factory 2 weeks ago, and there's already 25% of our members are already participating in that group. It's crazy. It's crazy what is going on in there. So with that being said, is there any questions that anybody has, at this particular moment that we might be able to go back? In the meantime, Tony, how about, is there anything that you want to say at this point before we just kind of move into sharing the buy links with everybody and bonuses?
Not really. I mean, it's a fantastic tool. It looks actually very, very simple to use, but it's a great idea. You've got that $10 per month membership to get some help. I think that's a fantastic idea. Guys, you're probably going to have a little bit of a learning curve with any tool that you use, but this is going to be around for a long time for these kind of strategies to work well because it's using the Google properties. If you're able to go and monetize that with doing the 3-packs and the local clients and stuff like that, you're going to make that money back so quickly, so easily. One client could get your money back for this particular tool.
All righty, let me see if I can pull up a very, very simple page here. Hang on one second. Make me the presenter.
There you go.
Okay. There you go. That's it right there. There's a number of different options, from a lifetime to a monthly to a combination of an upfront to a small monthly. But other than the fact that, it's $197 upfront and $29 a month monthly. Okay, seriously, people, I want everybody in here to tell me whether or not $30 a month is an insanely ridiculous amount of non-money you can spend to get this kind of stuff. How many of you think $30 a month for what we've shown you today is ridiculously high? Right? If you think it's high, you haven't been watching too many warrior forums or, JV Zoo launches. They want hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars for just one of these modules. Just one. Okay? John says he's paying $47 a month just for a G-Site Creator, and it is included, in here for $30 a month. And the reason it is so low is because we are still building. We're still having bugs. Come on in, but know that something is going to break and we're going to fix it and it's going to be fixed. We're on, we started off on module 1.2, we're on 1.6. And as Tony knows, you have to keep things going. You have to make sure that what breaks get fixed, and you're adding new things all the time, and it takes time. But once we build this, I can assure you that ain't nobody in the world going to be able to buy this product, what you're able to buy it for today. It is not going to happen. Okay, it's a desktop software. Yes, you get an exe file, it loads up, and as Terry was sharing with you, everything is on your desktop. It's, or you can use a VPS. We have very high-speed VPSs, but I mean, really, is there anybody in here that thinks that we're overpriced for the product that we're selling you right now? You know, give me a yes if you think we're overpriced, or stupid if you think we're stupid cheap.